Hello, Bucknutters, and welcome into the Morning Five on May 5th, 2014. I am Dave Biddle. The Ohio State basketball program picked up a huge commitment over the weekend when shooting guard Austin Grandstaff decided to play for Thad Matta and the Buckeyes. The 6'5", 190-pound Grandstaff is ranked as the number 5 shooting guard in the country in the 2015 class and the number 36 overall prospect, according to the 24/7 Sports Composite. This gives Ohio State 3 commitments in its 2015 class, which ranks as the second best recruiting class in the country, behind only Syracuse. Grandstaff joins point guard A.J. Harris from Dayton-Dunbar, as well as small forward Mickey Mitchell from Texas. And despite Mike Mitchell's departure from Ohio State, we hear Mickey Mitchell is still planning on being a Buckeye. One oddity here is that the Buckeyes currently have more basketball commitments than they do football commitments in their 2015 class. The Hoops team has 3 commits, while the football squad, of course, only has 2. Our Alex Gleitman spoke with Grandstaff on Sunday and has a story on the site right now with reaction from Grandstaff. He picked the Buckeyes over top programs such as Arizona, Florida, Oklahoma State, and many others. Grandstaff told Gleitman that the difference at Ohio State was the people. He loved his official visit over the weekend and calls Ohio State, quote, a special place. Great job by Thad Matta and his staff in landing a great talent like Austin Grandstaff.
O-H-I-O.
Now for the latest on football recruiting. Let's go out to the Dean of Ohio State football recruiting, Bill Kurelic.
Make no mistake just how important landing a tight end is to the Ohio State staff in their 2015 recruiting class. Urban Meyer, the man himself, is very actively involved in the Big Three, as I call them. Those are the Big Three tight ends that the Buckeyes are making a strong pitch to land. They are Chris Clark from Connecticut, Hale Hentich from Missouri, and Jackson Harris from Tennessee, and Meyer is actively recruiting all 3 of those super tight ends. If the Buckeyes could manage to land one of the 3, it would be huge, as all 3 are super prospects, and if somehow they could manage to land 2 of the 3, that would be an unbelievable coup for Urban and company. Right now, of the 3, I think Chris Clark is the one that Ohio State perhaps has the best shot at landing, but if the Buckeyes miss out on Clark, I do think that the Buckeyes have a pretty decent shot then to land Hale Hentich. I just don't think that both Hentich and Clark will end up picking Ohio State, but I can certainly see one of the 2 ending up at Ohio State. As far as the other one, Jackson Harris from Tennessee, not as much is being said about him, but he remains a very viable option for Ohio State. The 6'5", 245-pound Harris recently talked with Buckeye tight end coach Tim Hinton, as well as Urban Meyer. Hinton continues to recruit Jackson Harris hard, and as I mentioned, Urban Meyer is very actively involved as well. And Jackson Harris, who narrowed his list down to 10 top schools, with Ohio State being one of them, says that he may in fact get up to Ohio State again sometime this summer. Harris was in Columbus for the Ohio State-Wisconsin game, and the Buckeyes certainly remain in the mix for Jackson Harris. And by the way, in my What I Am Hearing feature this morning, I have an item on Jackson Harris that you'll want to take a look at.
Thank you, Bill. It will be interesting to see what ends up transpiring with tight end recruiting.
O-H-I-O.
And if you want to take a look at Bill's wildly popular What I Am Hearing column that he was referring to, you need to be a Bucknuts subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, now's a great time to take advantage of our 30-day free trial. You get all of our recruiting coverage, you get the daily boarding house, you get the ability to post and read premium posts on our always vibrant front row message board, and you get everything else that comes along with being a Bucknuts subscriber. So try our 30-day free trial.
O-H-I-O.
The NFL draft begins this Thursday night with the first round, and Ohio State is hoping to break a 2-year streak of no Buckeyes being selected in the first round. You know you produce a lot of great talent when going just 2 years without a first rounder is news, but that's the kind of reputation Ohio State has earned. However, that small but dubious streak will likely end on Thursday, as it appears as though linebacker Ryan Shazier will be the first Buckeye off the board and will be a mid to late first-round pick. I think cornerback Bradley Roby would have been a first-round selection if not for his recent run-in with the law, but now I think he will be a second-rounder. Interestingly, Todd McShay posted a story on ESPN.com over the weekend in which he stated that Roby, quote, could have been coached better during his time at Ohio State, end quote. Not exactly a ringing endorsement of Kerry Combs or perhaps Everett Withers there and the rest of Ohio State's defensive coaching staff last year. In addition to Roby, I believe running back Carlos Hyde and offensive lineman Jack Mewhort will be second-rounders. If it pans out that way, 1 first-rounder and 3 second-rounders, That will be a good couple of days for Ohio State's program. It really helps recruiting, in my opinion, when kids see a bunch of players from a particular school get taken early in the NFL draft.
O-H-I-O.
Former Buckeye players that have a chance to be drafted later in the proceedings include center Corey Lindsley, offensive guard Andrew Norwell, and wide receiver Philly Brown. Round 1 of the draft is Thursday night, rounds 2 and 3 follow Friday evening, and then rounds 4 through 7 follow on Saturday. Thank you for joining us for the Morning 5. I hope everybody has a great day.